Is it me? Am I the drama? I'm just here to tell you the truth, okay? Hi, welcome back. I did a OneSize Beauty campaign. Let's talk about it and put on a full face of OneSize Beauty. I was in a OneSize Beauty campaign that shot during August of 2023, which feels like forever ago, but in actuality wasn't that long ago. I'm filming this in July of 2025. I'm gonna start off with my brows. OneSize used to have a clear brow gel, but I ran out and I don't even think they sell it anymore. So this all came about, like, despite me not being a big creator and especially at this time being even smaller than what I am now. When OneSize Beauty first launched in 2020, they were holding a Starrr Search where if you submitted a video, you basically auditioned. They were looking for models for a campaign. But if, you've existed in the world in 2020, you know that this was during COVID-19, the pandemic, and like that peak of lockdown. So at this time, of course, it's the pandemic. I had just recently graduated from college, and honestly, I was going through a really hard time. I know that I wanted to apply, but I didn't think I would just because I didn't think I was good enough. Honestly, I wanted to apply and I waited until the very last day, like literally on the deadline to film my video and post my videos. I actually submitted 3 separate videos, but I just didn't feel confident in myself at the time. I thought like there are so many bigger accounts applying to this. Like I'm so afraid that they're going to look at my videos, be like, oh, she's cute, but she has, 1,000 followers. But lo and behold, and this is 2020, so I'm just starting to post. At this time, I've probably been posting for like a little over a year. And I honestly, it was the last day. I was like, you got to play to win. So I did it. I applied and my cute little videos stood out enough that I was one of the, I want to say 5 or 6 winners.
Visionary. Visionary.
And it was kind of unreal. I have never had a moment like this on my social media at this time. I was posted on the OneSize page. I was posted on Patrick's page, and Patrick Starrr was Patrick Starrr even back then, and OneSize just starting out, and it had a lot of buzz around it, and it was nice to be not only like appreciated but seen. It was the first brand that ever saw me, and looking back, for the first brand to like recognize me as a creator to be OneSize Beauty is huge. Like sometimes you gotta play to win, shoot or shoot. And I took a chance on myself and they took a chance on me. And it felt like unreal, just the amount of followers I got and attention I got, people congratulating me. It was so cool.
Drum roll. The winners are... We have Brandon Hernandez, Cindy Chen, Sanita Ramos, Chance LeBird, Rasheem Love, Andrew.
At this time, OneSize didn't have that virality that it has now. So it was running off the strength of Patrick Starr's name in the beauty industry alone. So at the time, they had like the eyeshadow palette, some of their liquid shadows, I believe, maybe like liner and the makeup removing spray. So I really started to support this brand really early on, and a part of being one of the winners of this Starrr Search, I was going to be in a OneSize Beauty campaign, and I was going to be added to their PR list and some other kind of perks that came along throughout it. But I have to mention, we were during a pandemic, so the campaign and everything didn't happen for years down the line. I'm gonna do a pink eyeshadow look, and all the OneSize palettes I have don't have like a true pink, so I'm gonna go in with the Wicked palette. These pinks are pretty light, but I'm gonna try to use these blushes as some shadow. I think I can make it work. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like I'm like having a big brain moment, but I don't have a hot pink, like pink shadow in my OneSize palettes, but I do have this blush trio, the cheek clapper and attention seeker. This is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna put the cream on my lid, pack it with these pinks here. We were in a global, oh my gosh, look at the pigment on that thing. We were in a global pandemic, of course, so the campaign was really put on the back burner because of it. Like, there's nothing we could do. This was like at the peak where no one was working. Literally everything was shut down. And to supplement this, they were launching their Turn Up the Base Versatile Powder Foundations. And so we did almost like a digital campaign where I tested and found my absolute perfect shade, which is medium dark 1. And this was all done virtually. I sent pictures of myself. They would send me the samples. I would swatch the samples, send more pictures. They would send more samples. And I submitted and took my own before and after pictures, which I believe are still on the OneSize website. And what this was really cool because like, who can say that they not only have photos on Sephora, in Sephora, did I mention the photos are also in person in Sephora, but I shot it on the floor of my bedroom. Like, I know that the pandemic had some special circumstances, but I thought that was so cool and cute. Like, I literally took this on my cell phone in my bedroom at home on the floor. So cool. And those pictures still exist to this day on the websites, Sephora website, OneSize website, as well as in some like select locations, it still has it on the display in the store. Okay, this is the blush on the eyes. I don't know if it's eye safe, but do as I say, not as I do. It's cute though, like she's giving. I'm gonna go into the Elphaba blush, and it's a little bit darker than the other blush. I'm gonna use this just to deepen up my crease a little bit. It was an unreal, like it just felt unreal to be getting PR from any brand. I think OneSize was the first brand to give me like official PR, like in the boxes, beautiful, nice. But it was crazy because I got to see myself IRL, like in real life, my photo in print in a store and in Sephora nonetheless, which is like, right? People were sending me pictures of it. My family could actually go, like no matter where they were able to go to their local Sephora and see my face, which is like, as a super small creator and just as like a makeup lover, a human being, it felt kind of like, you know? I'm gonna add some of the Stage White foundation powder to my inner corner just to like make that pop. So it was such a positive experience, and this was in between, 2020 winning the Starrr Search and 2021 when we're actually seen for the in-person campaign. And honestly, at this point, it's 3 years later, I did not think the in-person campaign was going to be happening. And so much was happening in the world, my personal life, and I was like pleasantly surprised. Saw an email and they were having, and this is what they told us, they were having some changes in like their influencer marketing and the team that would handle the campaign. They were having some personnel changes, so that's why it kind of didn't happen for so many years. But during that time, it was still really cool to be a part of a virtual campaign. I stayed connected with a lot of the other winners, if not every single one of them. I started to connect with them and being friends with them. And what really united us was all of us winning this competition. And I just thought it was so, so cool and really great to connect with like-minded folks, other people who have won, and just have someone to talk to. So far, so good. Secure the Blur. I think this was the first primer that they launched, like one of the 15 they have now. I was pleasantly surprised to see that the in-person campaign was actually happening. And when they contacted us, I want to say it was like a month or two in advance. And they were like, here are the dates. We're going to fly you out. We're going to get you a hotel. Everything will be covered. And you just got to show up and be fabulous, right? Right. I have two of their foundations. I don't remember which one of these is the better shade for me. Let's just see how they mix together. Honestly, the coverage on this thing is unreal. I think maybe the mixture would be the best. I felt like one shade was too dark, one shade was too light, but that together, that's a darn good match. It's a little bit dark, but I would say that's probably a pretty good match. I'm gonna use both. But it was nice to actually talk to them and be in front of them on a Zoom meeting. But everything was organized really well. They got my flights, sent them over to me. Um, Everything was, exciting. And I was in a weird part of my life. I was very unhappy. And mind you, I was unhappy when I submitted those videos. I didn't have much confidence in myself. Looking back, I was beautiful, gorgeous, I had nothing to worry about. Life should have been good. But when you're in it, you can't really see out of it. And when it was time for this campaign, I was even less confident in myself. I was in a very bad relationship, and it wasn't abusive or anything like that. I just felt like I was being, like, my shine, my light was being dimmed. So I felt dim. And like when you're going to shoot, like fly across the country and shoot in a beauty campaign, you don't want to feel dim or damp, and like you want to be fab. And I was not feeling fab. I was at a very heavy weight, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it made me feel less confident. It made me feel like I look so much different in my, this is in my mind. So this may not be the reality. This is just what was going through my mind. Like, I don't look like what I did when I first applied. They're going to be like, she gained 40 pounds since then. It's been 3 years. What happened to her? But that was all in my head. And as soon as I was in front of the One Size team, all of that disappeared. So this is my first time in LA. Of course, my first time in a beauty campaign. I've never seen anything like it. Like, the set was beautiful. The people were nice. It was an early shoot, but all of the One Size team, whether that be Alec or Karina or whoever I met to get us from the hotel to the actual like campaign space, they were so high energy and fun. Like, I was nervous. You could probably tell on my face that I was nervous. It was my first time in California, first time in LA, first time in the West Coast, first time shooting for a beauty campaign. And I ultimately wasn't feeling that confident in myself. So I really relied on their energy, their excitement to help me feel comfortable, let my guard down, and push through kind of my own awkwardness and my own uncomfortability. And it really set the tone for not only the entire trip, but for actually being there at the campaign. Getting there was really positive. Of course, the other winners were all there with me, and everyone was just like good energy, good vibes, excited to be there. I was different from everyone else. I decided and opted to have a makeup artist do my makeup, and it was genuinely the best decision I've ever made for a couple of reasons. And I chose to do it this way because I know me. A couple of things would be happening. I would be nervous, scared, sweaty, hot, overheated. But also, I wanted to have someone else do my makeup. I wanted the full experience. I wanted the glamour. I am not, and unlike the other people who won, I'm not a makeup artist that does makeup on other people. So I found no pride, no joy in doing my own makeup for the campaign. A lot of them wanted to have that on their resume and be like, yeah, I did my makeup for this campaign, for OneSize Beauty. Like, some people love to have that, and that is just not me. I know that I would be rushing. I would be nervous. I'd be nervous that like maybe my skills weren't up to par, that I was gonna ruin the campaign. I know that I wanted to relax, try not to have it in my hands, trust someone else, but also have the opportunity to meet a professional makeup artist. And it was the best thing I've ever done. Apollo, who did my makeup, killed it. Not only did I feel comfortable and warm and invited into his chair, but I just had really great conversations. I love how my makeup came out, of course, but I really enjoyed talking to him and getting to know him, and he is a professional. So when instructions were given, let's say that we needed a couple different looks for a couple different shoots, he would get the notes, know what to do, and to execute it on time and exactly with what the team wanted, because he often works with One Size. I trusted them, and I told them that I would love someone who has experience working on black skin. We've all seen the horror stories before, and I wanted to make sure that with hair, with makeup, that I said the quiet part out loud. I of course wasn't the only black person that won, but just in case no one else said it, I wanted to be the one to say, hey, please find someone who is comfortable with doing black makeup, black hair, because that was important to me. Hair. There was two ladies doing the hair. The only person I was able to connect with afterwards was Christina. She does amazing hair. So she helped me. I got these little clip-ins from the beauty supply store, and I knew I wanted to show my curly hair, but I wanted it to be like campaign size. I wanted it to be big because when you're on camera, you have to like be 10 times as big as you are and for it to really show. Like I wanted the hair to be like I was gonna be next to Patrick Starr. Like I wanted the hair to give, and I was kind of brainstorming with my mom what I wanted to do, what I wanted to bring so that I can like help get the vision into reality. So I went and I bought some really curly extensions, and Christina just like combed them out, applied them for me, and kept me touched up throughout the entire campaign. Both Christina and Apollo really did it for me. They made my hair and makeup experience so great, and special thanks to Apollo. I felt really comfortable with him, and he made sure he took care of me the entire campaign shoot. I am very sweaty. Not only was I nervous and sweaty, I am just a sweaty gal, and the room was really hot. So everyone was hot, but I was like really sweaty. So he made sure he always touched up my makeup, made sure I was okay. I had a big old fan with me. He always took care of me, and I really did appreciate that in that moment, but just overall, like as a human being. And probably a couple hours in, Patrick came with Team Starrr, and that's his brother, his assistant, all that good stuff. And it's so nice to see like family. You saw both Peter and Paul. Mama Starrr was there, so they're always, they're like a well-oiled machine with getting Patrick ready and ready to shoot the campaign as well. But they were all just so nice. I gotta say, like, both Peter and Paul were really nice, and you can tell that the team is at least friends, which I feel like even in work in general, no matter what industry you're in, isn't always the case. The shoot went really well. The photographer, Jesse, so comfortable, so kind. He shoots all of OneSize's campaigns, and he's just the nicest ever. So despite me not having a lot of professional photographer experience, he was really patient, really kind, showed you where to pose, what the shot was, chin down, like all the things that you needed to get the photos. He was patient, and he shot everyone. So he was standing and working for hours, and you couldn't tell talking to him. He always had good energy, good vibes, patient, helpful, all the things. Same thing with Danica and Fabian. They were behind the camera telling you what to do. Pose, hold this product, turn the label, ba, 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 ba. They were doing that, and they were always like high energy, like screaming, yelling, putting on the playlist, doing all the things that make you feel like that girl. We had a lunch break. We all sat down and ate some lunch. Something that was really important to me is that like Patrick went around to like all the different departments. It was like, hey, stop. We're going to eat lunch. We're going to stop. Did you eat? Did you eat? Did you eat? Did you get enough to eat? Like he was so like welcoming and accommodating that everyone was able to like actually have a break and stop and talk and catch up, eat a little Chipotle. And that's what we had, a little like kiki moment with Patrick, sitting down, talking about our goals, about his journey, and getting to Sephora. And to add some context to what was happening, this is during Beyonce's Renaissance tour. She had just got to DC, and her makeup artist just posted that her makeup stayed on using the OneSize Until Dawn. So he had a lot to tell us, and this was happening like literally at the same time. So we're talking about like actually talking to Patrick, being like, this is so unreal, like find a better spokesman, find another like seal of approval, a stamp that's like, yeah, like OneSize is valid. Who's bigger than Beyonce? Like she was in the drenched rain, her glam was because of OneSize, and it took the internet by storm. It was nice. It was fun to talk to him. Patrick is very normal, so you can talk to him outside of, in your phone. He really just took that opportunity to speak life into us as creators, telling us to keep going, to follow your dreams, even if everyone around you, the people on top of you, the people above you are telling you no, like that'll never work. If you believe in yourself and if you believe in, the mission, then do it. Like there's nothing stopping you. And it kind of told us even the backlash and pushback that OneSize has gotten from execs, even for their most popular product, the number one and number two SKU in Sephora, the On Till Dawn, like they were getting pushback. They thought that no one would buy those products. No one was looking for sweat-proof, waterproof sealant for their makeup, and like prove them wrong. And not only prove them wrong, but in a huge way.
One to one size to Patrick. There we go.
The shoot, ooh, that's perfect. I'm using bubble. The shoot went well. It was a long and exhausting day, and everyone that I talked to was really kind. I literally went to my hotel room and passed out right after, especially because my flight was at like, I don't know, 7 a.m. or something. So I got back to my room, didn't go to dinner or anything, just passed out so tired. Now we can kind of talk about post campaign, what my relationship with OneSize is right now, my thoughts, opinions, and closing statements. This is the new Powder Melt by OneSize. Let's go in. I love this spray. The applicator, like the nozzle atomizer, whatever it's called on here, is so nice. I love a dewy finish, so this is perfect. Okay, and of course, the cherry on top, the Starrr the Diva. Let's do today's lip combo. Okay. Okay, I got the rest of the look together. She's cute, yes. But after, it's been about 2 years and honestly about 5 years since I even applied to be one of the Starrr Search winners for OneSize Beauty. And here are my closing thoughts. First and foremost, I want to preface this that this was a privilege. It was an honor. It was such a great experience. And I enjoyed everything that I've done with OneSize Beauty. But post, can we talk about it? Is it me? Am I the drama? I'm just here to tell you the truth, okay? Preface also that I want to say that being on PR and working with a brand is a privilege. Getting sent products is a privilege. It is not a right. I don't feel like I am, birthright or whatever into getting these products, but I have not been on their PR list in probably over a year. I was on it for, like I said, about 4 years, which is cool, which is great. But I don't know what happened. Maybe mine gets lost in the mail or whatever. Of course, if it was up to me, I would still be on the PR list getting all the goodies and all the new releases. But that is quite frankly not the reality that I am living in. But like I said, it is a privilege, and the time that I spent and what I've been able to do with the brand, I have really enjoyed and will keep these memories with me forever. I will continue to support the brand. Like I have bought, my own refills. I bought the new setting sprays, whether it be the Powder Melt or the new SPF spray. I go out and I repurchase my favorites. The Rent Do Liner, I'm going to get it every time I get my own refills. I'm going to support the brand no matter what sees. But if I could choose, I would be back on it. But it's really great to see that my photos are still on their website. Of course, those are their photos. It was their photographer, their everything. So they are posting the photos that they own. But it's really nice to see myself still on the website. I will occasionally, not in a while, but I saw ads of my photos of myself. And like to this day, as of filming this video, I'm still on the website. And it's really great. It's really cool. I still connect with a lot of the people that I not only met through the experience, but also who won the Starrr Search along with me. So those friendships, those connections are, worth much more than makeup, free lipstick, you know what I mean? But overall, positive experience. You know, the products speak for themselves. Moment of silence. Yeah, like the products speak for themselves, and that's why I've been able to support and love One Size, whether I am in a campaign or purchasing my products from Sephora. So that's it. Manifesting back on the PR list, manifesting all the good energy, the good juju, the good vibes, so that I can continue to support and put my family on and my friends on to all the One Size products, which I have not stopped doing. We are One Size stands around here. Catch you in the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you want more story times from me.